It's taxi vlog 252. I think so. 252 sounds about right. Well, it is now the 22nd of April already. It's almost summer. It's getting here. I can almost feel it. It's actually warm with the sun shining through the windshield here. And, you know, I would open the window, but it would mess up the sound a little bit. Well, maybe not that much, but just enough. And we got speed humps here. I was really sad the day they put speed humps on this road many years ago. It used to be my quick shortcut from one part of town to another, and now it's not so quick no more. See what happened last week. Came to work on Monday. It ended up being pretty good for a Monday. I did well. I did all right. Had a good night. Tuesday the same, and Wednesday even. I mean, that was a streak. Thursday was a little bit less, and Friday was nothing special for a Friday, but it ended up being okay. On the days off, on Saturday night, Cindy and I went to a really fine restaurant and had a most delightful dinner. Enjoyed it a lot. Were there any were there any highlights of the week? You know, aside from being relatively successful on the financial side, I'm trying to remember. You know, most of it was smooth. Most of the people were all right. I didn't have any trouble from anyone. I'm sure that after I stop recording, I'll remember something that was memorable, but it's not coming to me at this instant. Okay. Suffice it to say that with the nicer weather and with springtime, the public is more relaxed. The public is more happy, and I did notice one thing last week, though. I noticed some very generous tips I was getting, so I must be doing something right. And when you're doing something right, you know, I guess you're happy, and it reflects on your mood, you know. And people get in, and they feel happy when they get in. It makes them more inclined to tip than when, you know, you kind of bring them down. And someone was talking about the tip culture. I mean, you know, to ensure proper service. We got someone, well, actually it was Kenneds from New Zealand, saying that we don't tip here and we have a minimum wage. Yeah, well, we have a minimum wage too, but the minimum wage here is not enough to live on comfortably. I often make less than minimum wage, just because sometimes I make nothing. It happens on occasion that I'm out here all night and I make nothing. That's less than any kind of minimum wage. And for things like that, tips come in very handy. You know, if not for tips, sometimes I don't break even. And that's on the really slow nights. Yeah. So the tips can make a difference between not making any money and actually floating. And it's so nice that when you're finishing your night and you find that you did all right because of your tips, it makes it worth being out here. Now, if not for tips, I wouldn't be able to take Cindy for dinner every week. That's for sure. And if not for tips, I would not be able to go on vacation for a couple of weeks once a year, just to recharge my batteries and feel more, you know, like life is worth living. Because if you're just working week in and week out all year round and don't have a break sometime, it's not healthy. It is not healthy at all. So yeah, tips are a good thing. And when I go to a restaurant or any kind of place where, you know, like a bar or something like that, and the people give me good service, of course I'll tip, and I'll tip generously because I rely on tips to make my life at least comfortable at times. Like I said, if not for tips, I'd be homeless pretty much. So yeah, like I said, when I'm getting to find myself in a place where I can tip, or where tipping is encouraged, or tipping is just customary, if I get good service, of course I'll tip, because I can appreciate what being a tip earner is like. Now, if our minimum wage was maybe twice what it is, then I could maybe see tipping going by the wayside. But the minimum wage is not twice what it is, and since I'm not an employee, I do not get a salary. I do not get paid by the hour. I get paid by the customer. I get paid by the customer by how much I take them for and where I take them to, and if I've done a good job, they will tip me, and I will have earned my tip. And yes, there are some customers who may not have been satisfied with my service. It happens on rare occasion that I'm not having a good day or something, or they're not having a good day, and they rub off on me, and I react unprofessionally, perhaps. Maybe not unprofessionally, but not optimally. And there's some people who are just cheap, and they pay what's on the meter, and that's that. You take it with a grain of salt. You don't get all pissed off that they didn't tip you. You just figure, well, you know, it takes all kinds to make the world happen. And there are times where I have done an excellent job, and the people even said so, and I didn't get tipped. That's perhaps because they are not tip earners. And they get a good salary, and they figure I'm getting a good salary too, and they don't know how this system works. Oh, there's something going on here. There's something going on there. Go! When I have a stop sign, you go. And that's a professional. That's a commissionaire. That's a commissionaire. They're the guys who give out tickets for doing things wrong. But that corner is not designed very well. In fact, it's a real piss poor design. Like many streets in Victoria, things don't make sense. And that's one of them. And why was the guy wanting me to go first? I had the stop sign. He didn't. And he only put his signal on after I stopped. He should have had his signal on as soon as he was in my sight. But you can't correct people by example, because they just don't get it. Anyway, the weather, as you can see, is beautiful. The forecast is for beautiful weather all week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's only supposed to get cloudy on Saturday. So I'm going to enjoy this evening and read my book. What am I reading now? I'm reading Ben Bova, Mars Life. It's sort of a continuing part of the saga of the Ben Bova solar system. And I think there were a couple other books about Mars. And some of the characters are from the earlier books are in this one. And there's some politics, and there's some exploration, and there's some, you know, ego clashing. The usual things that makes a Ben Bova space opera a delightful read. And so I won't say much more because I don't have much more to say. So I hope yours is better than mine, and have yourself a wonderful evening, and I hope your weather is as good as mine. Bye.